Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are doing well. Today, in this video lecture, we are going to study two important tenses, the present perfect continuous tense and the past perfect continuous tense. And this video lecture is being presented by DPS Girls Wing Township. Let's start by understanding what the present perfect continuous tense actually is. The present perfect continuous tense tells us about an action that began in the past and is still happening, or has just stopped but has a connection to the present. In other words, it shows both duration and continuity of an action. Now we will look at the situations where we use this tense. We use this tense in three main situations. The first one is for the action that we recently stopped with a visible result. We use this tense when an action has just finished and we can see or feel its effect now. For example, he is tired because he has been running. Another example is her eyes are red because she has been crying. In these both examples, the action have just ended, but their results are still visible. Alright, the second situation where we use this tense is for the action that started in the past and it's still continuing. Look at the examples. I have been working at this company since 2020. The other example is they have been waiting for the bus for an hour. So here we talked about actions that started earlier and are still going on. Well, dear students, I'm sure you would have noticed the use of since and for in these sentences, right? So we'll discuss about them in our next slide. Let's talk about the third situation. We use this tense in temporary situations or repeated actions. Like sometimes we need to use this for the situations or the temporary actions that happen again and again over a short period. Let me explain this through these examples. She has been traveling a lot for work lately. He has been calling me every day this week. So these examples show that something is happening again and again during a specific time frame. After understanding its uses, now we learn its sentence structure. And the sentence structure of this tense is quite simple. Affirmative sentences start with a subject, then followed by two helping verbs. Yes, remember that this tense has two helping verbs. The first helping verb is has or have, and the second one is been. And I'm sure you know that we use has with singular subjects and have with plural subjects. The second helping verb that I've just said that it's been, and it always comes after has or have. Then comes the main verb, which is the present participle form of the verb. We usually say that the main verb with ing. An object is placed after main verb, but not all the sentences carry an object. Remember this. Let's look at the example. She has been studying for 3 hours. Now, I'm sure that the whole structure is quite clear in your mind. In negative sentences, after writing subject and first helping verb, which is has or have, we place not, and then we write been, which is our second helping verb. And after that, we use present participle form of the verb. Read this example. I have not been sleeping well. While writing interrogative sentences, write has or have before the subject of the sentence, whereas been will remain at its place. See, it's coming after the subject. And look at the example. Have you been listening to me? Well, dear students, I'm sure now you'll agree with me that its sentence structure is quite simple, right? As you have seen in some examples, I have used for and since to describe time of the action. Let me say, since and for are the best friends of this tense, and these two words are crucial for stating the duration of the action. Well, we will use for to talk about a period of time. For example, for 2 hours, for 3 days, for a year, for a long time. Whereas since is used to talk about the starting point of the action. Since 9 a.m., since Monday, since January, since 2015, and since childhood. And when we will be translating sentences from Urdu into English, we'll have to use these two words quite frequently. Now we have reached the most important point of this lesson. प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूस टेंस के उर्दू जुमले को इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट करना, और हमारे सिलेबस में भी उर्दू जुमलों की इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन शामिल है. So let's apply the points we have just learned in this sentence structure and translate a few Urdu sentences into English. अच्छा, याद रखिएगा पिछले लेसन्स में भी हमारे टीचर्स आपको बताते रहे हैं कि उर्दू के जुमले में टेंस को पहचानना कैसे है. उसके लिए हम जुमले के आखिर में देखते हैं, और इस टेंस में जुमले के आखिर में रहा है, रही है या रहे हैं आता है, और जुमले में वक्त का जिक्र भी होगा. हमारी जितनी भी एक्सरसाइजेस में मौजूद सेंटेंसेस हैं उन सब में वक्त का जिक्र ज़रूर है. फर्स्ट एग्जांपल देखिएगा, मैं दोपहर से तुम्हारा इंतज़ार कर रहा हूँ. आवर सब्जेक्ट इज़ आई. Then we use our both helping verbs, have, been, present participle form of our verb, which is waiting. I have been waiting for you. और जब वक्त का जिक्र आया दोपहर से, तो here we are using since and then noon. I have been waiting for you since noon. एक नेगेटिव सेंटेंस भी ट्रांसलेट करते हैं. दोस्त 20 मिनट से बातें नहीं कर रहे हैं. The friends have not been talking for 20 minutes. अब यहाँ देखिए हमने for का इस्तेमाल भी कर लिया क्योंकि हमारे पास एक पीरियड ऑफ टाइम था 20 मिनट्स का. जी, थर्ड एग्जांपल है हमारी, क्या चांद शाम से चमक रहा है. बिकॉज इट्स अ क्वेश्चन, तो यहाँ पर हमारा जो फर्स्ट हेल्पिंग वर्ब है वो सब्जेक्ट से पहले आ गया है. हैज़ द मून बीन शाइनिंग सिंस इवनिंग. राइट. तो आपने देखा कि एक बहुत ही सिंपल सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर है, और उसको फॉलो करके जब हम लोगों ने ट्रांसलेशन की है तो उसमें हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई. तो इंशाल्लाह जब आप एक्सरसाइज के बाकी सेंटेंसेस को भी ट्रांसलेट करेंगे तो उम्मीद है आपको किसी किस्म की प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. These are some of the key takeaways of this lesson so far. Kindly keep them safe with you. इसको आप रिवाइज करते रहेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह इस टेंस में आपको कतई कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. And now we are moving towards our second tense. The past perfect continuous tense. It is used to talk about an action that started in the past and continued up until another time in the past. This means that the action began earlier and it did not stop immediately. It continued for some time until another past moment. It is also used to emphasize the duration of the action, and it usually answers the question, how long had something been happening? Now we'll discuss the uses of the past perfect continuous tense. First, duration before another past action. We use the past perfect continuous tense to show that an action had been happening for a certain period of time before something else happened in the past. Let me explain this through an example. They had been playing football for an hour when it started to rain. Now, in this sentence, it shows that the playing football was a continuous activity that started earlier and it continued up until another event. So, it expresses the duration of a past activity before another past action. Second use is we use this tense to explain the reason or cause of a past result, condition, or feeling. Its example is he was tired because he had been working all day. I'm sure that it's clear in your mind now. Third use is the past perfect continuous tense can also be used to describe a recent past action whose effects are still visible or felt in the past. Let me explain this. Like, her eyes were red because she had been crying. This is the sentence, and in this case, we can still see the result, and it tells us what she had been doing just before that moment. Well, after getting to know its uses, let's discuss its sentence structure now. The sentence structure of this tense is also very simple. In affirmative sentences, after subject come had and been as the helping verbs. Like present perfect continuous tense, we have two helping verbs, had and been. Then comes the main verb, which is the present participle form of the verb. After that, write the object, depending on the nature of the sentence. Let's read the sentence following this structure. He had been waiting for the bus for 30 minutes. In negative sentences, after subject and had comes not, and then we write been, and after that, present participle form of the verb. Look at this sentence. She had been waiting for the bus for long. While writing interrogative sentences, had comes in the beginning, then the subject of the sentence, after that, been, the second helping verb, and next comes the main verb, present participle form of the verb. And its sentence is, had she been waiting for the bus for long? I'm sure, dear students, by following this sentence structure, you can translate an Urdu sentence into English easily. Just like present perfect continuous tense, to translate a sentence of this tense from Urdu to English, we'll have to recognize the Urdu clue. और इस टेंस की उर्दू में पहचान है कि जुमले के आखिर में रहा था, रही थी, रहे थे आता है और जुमले में वक्त का जिक्र भी ज़रूर होगा. Let me explain it through these examples. मैं दोपहर से तुम्हारा इंतज़ार कर रहा था. I had been waiting for you since noon. मैं यानी कि I हमारा सब्जेक्ट था. Then we used our two helping verbs, had been. प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म हमारे वर्ब की है वेटिंग फॉर यू, और यहाँ पर वक्त दोपहर का है तो उसके साथ हम सिंस का लगाएंगे बिकॉज दिस इज द पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दैट इज गिवन टू अस. दूसरा जुमला देखिएगा, दोस्त 20 मिनट से बातें नहीं कर रहे थे. दोस्त हमारा सब्जेक्ट है, सो द फ्रेंड्स हैड नॉट बीन टॉकिंग फॉर 20 मिनट्स. यहाँ हमें फॉर का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ा क्योंकि हमारे पास पीरियड ऑफ टाइम था. थर्ड एंड द लास्ट सेंटेंस, क्या चांद शाम से चमक रहा था? एंड बिकॉज इट्स एन इंट्रोगेटिव सेंटेंस तो हमारा जो फर्स्ट हेल्पिंग वर्ब है दैट विल कम बिफोर द सब्जेक्ट. हैड द मून बीन शाइनिंग सिंस इवनिंग? Well, dear students, by practicing more sentences from your book exercises, you can master this tense in translation, inshallah. At the end, have a look at these important points, keep them in your mind, and keep reminding your other fellows as well. Here I end this video lecture with lots of prayers for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.